I did a series, well, not a series, but a video that it's becoming a series now, where I went over the horrible women of dating. And my last video I made about this months ago was the horrible women of Facebook dating. And the video did pretty good. Y'all seem generally interested in this topic of my own personal torture. Now, luckily things have changed since then. I am with somebody, but that still doesn't stop me from looking online and finding some absolutely horrendous profiles that you don't have to look too hard to find. And it gives you a really, really bleak outlook on the dating scene because let's be honest, it's fucking awful. We were sold a bill of goods that turned out to be sour. For thousands of years, hundreds of years, men married young women and started families, and it was all hunky dory. Now your divorce rate's over 50%, and, society's completely broken with modern feminism, essentially, and the ridiculousness of society. And these are just some examples of some of the worst POF profiles I've seen. So, let's go over them. So, if you're new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. This isn't what we usually do. We usually cover gaming stuff, movies, TV shows, nerd stuff, geek stuff. But I know there's probably a lot of you out there, because I get messages from y'all all the time. You're having a hard time finding a girlfriend, or you're having a hard time dealing with being alone. And let me tell you, it's a total fucking shit show out there. So let's start this out with, this profile is from a girl named Saturn. Yeah. You already know where this is going. She says, I have bipolar depression, just out of a major depressive episode, kind of going through a reset of sorts. I'm currently experimenting with hobbies, spirituality, entertainment, and activities. Just been trying a lot of new things. Ideally, I want to find someone to spend time with on a regular basis. Okay, so far, this profile, first of all, talking about your bipolar depression right off the bat, obvious red fucking flag. But then we go on. I'm E&M. And for those of you who don't know, that's ethical non-monogamous. She uses the abbreviations like anybody would actually fucking know this shit. That basically means she's polyamorous. But her partners all have nesting partners. In other words, her other partners are living with other people, their other relationships. And she's not. And she wants one of her own. So if you're already a single guy, you're already having to share her. That's awesome. And it sounds like she just wants someone to live with. I would describe them as casual relationships. So she's going to keep these casual relationships, right? It's ethical, non-monogamous. And, sorry, my dog just crawled up here. She goes, I work as a salesperson. I sell music gear. I'm pretty rusty at music, but I've been a musician for 20 years. Sure. Right. I love most kinds of art and I try to find the beauty in everything, not without acknowledging the ugliness too. I don't see ugliness as a bad thing. I try to analyze it and tackle it head on. Then she goes on to say, "No, MAGA!" She tries to tackle ugliness head on. She says, "No, MAGA!" Can't make this up. I'm intersex in GNC. Had to look that up. That's gender non-conforming. As such, I'm a leftist, and I organize for the trans community. Gee, what gave that away? Moving on. We have Heather. Heather said, I'm extremely versatile, and I have expansive list of interests. My ultimate goal is my own little, mostly self-sustainable homestead. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. What a goal. What do you want else? A mansion? You want a fucking mansion? I like to stay busy and don't sit still well. Do you think you can keep up? No! I'm looking for an actual real man who knows how to communicate well and consistently. A man that can essentially outman me. So being handy around the house or with cars will be ideal. if you ask me questions I already have been answered in my profile, I'm going to assume you're illiterate and won't be compatible. Gee, this sounds like a fucking bucket of joy, doesn't it? Oh, I'm a dominant, independent woman, but I need a man to outman me. And if you ask me any questions I've already listed in this profile, you must be a fucking retard that can't read. Is basically what she's saying. I am not part of the alphabet mafia and don't want to have to interpret letter sentences. Okay, so... Alright, so you're not a lefty. But you want to go ahead and insult those people. I see. Please be able to use big kid words and carry on the conversation that is more than how was your day. So, this woman's insufferable, let's be honest. As a man, please have your own job, your own vehicle, and your own place to live. This should be without saying at this age. So let me get this straight. Women out there can have no job, no home, no nothing, and they're expected to just be taken care of, trad style, but without any trad responsibilities put on them. But the man, required to have a job, required to have his own place to live, and required to have his own vehicle, automatically. Really? Really? You know how many men actually have that stuff? Actually, less men than you realize. I have all those things, but still, less men than you realize have all that stuff. And she goes on to say, this should be go without saying at this age. If you don't have these things, you probably shouldn't be trying to date. So in other words, she's saying if you're not at this minimum level, you're excess male. Go fuck yourself. I know plenty of guys that either they can't drive, or they don't work, or they don't have a place to live. At least one of those three they may not have, and they're good guys, and they would be good boyfriend. They would be a good boyfriend for you if you gave him a shot. Okay, goddamn. All right. Why is this brightness going down on me? Okay. So we have Maim. Maim is her name. Wow, what is this? I love my dog and me and her are one. I'm homeless, looking for somewhere to settle into because I got kicked out of a domestic women's shelter I had been staying at. If you want to know why, it's because the other dog here tried to attack me out of nowhere twice, and my dog once, so thought for our safety we should leave, as well as the other dog, the lady who runs the house's dog. No, I won't screw you for somewhere or to go get a ride. I have time to hang out at the moment. Well, gee, you're homeless. I bet you would. But when I do this, message will change or be deleted. I have no desire sexually unless we've met and you could tell I'm feeling you that way. It's called naturally, not forced by any manner. So, obviously this chick is homeless and she's looking for a place to stay. But she wants to make it clear, I won't fuck you. That's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. Simp for me, and I probably won't fuck you anyway. So, that's a hard pass, correct? Alright, we got another profile. Marissa. Independent woman with a career, a sense of humor, and zero tolerance for nonsense. Let me stop right there. Every woman that leads with, I'm an independent woman, immediately, I'm hitting the X button. And the reason is, independent woman means difficult to deal with woman. You think when you say independent woman, that's easier to deal with, or that's better to deal with. In every fucking sense of the word, when someone says they're an independent woman, I immediately know, okay, this is somebody that isn't submissive. This is somebody that isn't going to listen to me, and they're going to give me a hard time the whole entire fucking time. That has always been my experience when they say independent woman and when they lead with career. They want to make you fucking for sure know that you are not more important than their career. Ever, you never will be. You will always be dead fucking last. And zero tolerance for nonsense. Zero tolerance for nonsense means listen to what I tell you to do or I'll fuck somebody else. That's what she's saying. Her vibe is campfires, riverboats, laughing too loud, and stealing your fries. Looking for a man who's funny, kind, and not afraid of a woman who knows exactly what she wants. Not, in other words, not afraid to be a simp for a woman that will demand what she wants. Got it? Go fuck yourself. Next. Dior says in her profile, raised by men that taught me to never settle. Another thing that pisses me off. You got women that are probably 5 out of 10s refusing to settle for a man that's a 5 out of 10. They're like, I need a man that's an 8 out of 10. So they refuse to settle, and then they wonder why the fuck they're still single, and they wonder why nobody's dating them and why they're alone. They don't settle. They refuse to settle. She says in the first sentence, she will not settle. Can't do what my days and papas do, you not it. I'm a single mom of 1 and mom of 2 angels. Work. I have anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Here we go. Another woman that has anxiety, depression, PTSD, and she's going to sit there and say she won't settle. Woman, you are a broken mess. A man that is with you is the one that's fucking settling. I don't know what this is for me, but I want him, H-I-M, to be all about me. You want the guy, the 10 out of 10, to be all about you. How you approach me determines outcome. How about instead of wanting some fucking secret Chad to just approach you that's perfect, how about you go approach somebody, bitch? How about you ask somebody out, bitch? No free play. I'm on the time you on. Heart is on lock until. Ugh, insufferable. Okay, this chick name is Karma, which is hilarious. First name Karma, last name probably bitch. She says, I'm honest to blunt and a lot to handle. I'm definitely a spitfire. Okay, if that's your first sentence right off the bat, why the fuck would I want to talk to you any more than that? She goes, I have been single for a long time. No, you think? And I'm very self-sufficient and independent. Well, gee, let me think here. Do 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 do. Why would she still be single? I don't know, because she says she's a lot to handle, a spitfire, and she's self-sufficient and independent. I wonder if that has any reason to do why she's single, guys. Do you think so? I think so. If you don't like that a woman, then by all means keep scrolling. Trust me, bitch, I will, and so will every other man with a brain, which is why you're still fucking single. I have been on here for a while, you don't say, and I get messages, but I will not respond if all you have to say is hi. How do you start a conversation then? Let me know what you're interested. Let me know what you're interested in. Tell me you actually read my profile. Well, I am, bitch. I know there has to be other normal people on this app because I am normal. You are not normal. Maybe you are in this new normal post-patriarchy bullshit society we live in, but this is not normal behavior! I mean, for the most part anyways, laugh out loud. I have a great sense of humor and I love to laugh and be silly. If you want to hook up, keep scrolling. I love all these women that are like, hey, if you want to hook up, just scroll by. Just keep on scrolling. Unless you're Chad, then I'll spread my legs instantly, right? Moving on. Carrie. Here we go. We'll wait for one like this. I'm a single mother of 4. 3 girls and a boy. I work hard for my babies. Okay. 4 kids. 4 kids. I don't know how many baby daddies. Could be a different one for each one. Could be all 4 to 1. Why aren't you with them? Why aren't you with them? Why aren't you with them? Not looking for someone to help with that. Yeah, right. Just someone that wants to actually be real. I'm very independent. Let me wave the flag. I'm going on a dating site to find a man. And when I try to find one, I gotta tell him I'm independent. Which is a big fucking turn off. I've been doing it on my own for 16 years. I just wished to find someone real. But I see this site as a joke. So really just want to find someone to hang out with and have fun. But no, I'm not talking about sex. Sex? Oh. We live in a puritarian society. Sex, oh. You know, everybody does every degenerate thing ever imaginable in society. But I've already had 4 kids, but you want to do a hookup? Oh, no sex. Oh. I don't sleep around, I swear. I have 4 kids, but I don't sleep around. Yeah, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's it, guys. That's all I can handle. That's all I can handle. That's all I can handle. Just leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm about to have a meltdown. I'm already in halfway to having a meltdown. I'm done. I'm done.